Hello and welcome to Trianithon. That sounds, yeah.
Trianithon would have been better.
We'll go with Trianithon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Why would I go with something that you? Yeah. Trianithon. I don't know. Trianithon sounds like. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Does it?
Yeah, it does matter. It does matter. It does matter what we call it. Anyway, one thing I have got in mind is to call it Chapter One, right? Because I want to do more than one of these. So, you know, I do the one in Roman numerals for the 24-hour. And that's the thing, 24-hour movie marathon. Let's just explain what this is briefly. You probably guessed by, I'll probably put some thumbnail up of an animated film. But I love doing the 24-hour movie marathons with Connie. I love doing marathons in general, but we can only do the 24-hour movie marathon once a year. Well, we could do it more than once a year, but I think it's best to keep it once a year, to keep it special and stuff like that. We can look forward to it.
It's like Christmas, having it twice, just no.
Yeah, I think it would be too much. And also, you know, I put so much into it that it would, just, no. I do other, like, kind of shorter offshoot marathons, like I did the Japanese one, the silent movie marathon, but Connie isn't really in those ones. So I really wanted to do another one with Connie. It just popped into my head yesterday. And so the idea is Trianithon, whatever we decide on, or whatever I decide on, I should say.
I was going to say that. Whatever you decide on. Let's do all the things that you
want. On my channel, yes, thank you very much. So the idea is to watch 3 animated films. It is a Sunday today, and it feels like a Sunday thing to do. And animated films are not that long, usually. I think the longest animated film ever is about 2 hours and 20 minutes, so you're not getting loads of epics. A lot of them are like 1 hour and 20-30 minutes, so I feel like watching 3 in one day is pretty manageable, to the point where we could do it, we could do the reviews, and we'd still have a lot more of the day left. It's not going to eat up the whole day. But we can still, you know, maybe in the future do it over a weekend or something like that. There's no, you know, I make the rules, so it's all good. So the picks for the 3 films, which I thought would make it interesting, is that we both get a pick each, which the other person can't, like, dispute. So, like, I get a film and we're going to watch it, Connie picks a film, we've got to watch it. And then the third one, we kind of decide on together, though I pitched the third one, and Connie was like, so it's your pick then? I'm like, well, no, because I'm getting you to agree on it.
Getting me to agree.
Yeah, but you know, you can pitch forward an idea of your own if you wanted something else. So you just got to get in there, like, first come, first serve, you know. It's like you got to try and pitch it to the other person and get them to agree on it. Whereas the other two, the singular picks, are kind of, you have to stick with it.
He got 2 picks.
I didn't get 2 picks. I suggested one film.
And I barely got this pick. So you got your 2 picks and I got my 1. But I agreed on the other 2.
You agreed on the other 2? What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's not like I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch that at all. If you would have picked Porco Rosso,
yeah,
I would have been like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Really?
Again? Yeah, we've seen it once.
You once?
It's a 10-year movie to me, I think.
Wow, really?
5 at the minimum.
A breezy movie about a guy flying around in a plane. What? What the fuck? It's like
this is like me saying that Star Wars sucks. Which I don't think.
It's like,
if I said that, this would be the reaction.
It's like you watching Seven Samurai and saying it was quite alright. Like, I can't believe. Like, we watched it and you enjoyed. Oh, so you lied to me then. She lied.
It was enjoyable,
to my face. A
but
barefaced liar.
Compared to all the other ones, it's definitely at the bottom.
Well, I can go.
I prefer all of the other Ghibli movies over Porco Rosso.
I can go along with that. I do think it's not one of the best ones. It's just,
what? I thought that was your favourite.
It's my favourite. Far and away, Porco Rosso is my favourite Studio Ghibli film. My favourite Hayao Miyazaki film. It's nowhere near the best, though. I've always said that. No, it's not even the childhood memory that I have with it. It's. I just love the feel of it. I love everything about it. I love the time period. I love the way it looks. I love the music.
It's a flying pig.
It's not a flying pig. It's a pig who flies a plane. Let's put it. It's not like a. It's not like Pink Floyd.
He flies.
He flies, yes, and I'm absolutely devastated that you don't like it, and that you would have been like, oh,
no, it's not that
again.
I don't like
I've only
it.
seen it once, but not again.
Hey, I said that I can watch it again, just not anytime soon. Wow. If that was on the like the quota today, I would have been very disappointed because it's my day off, and I don't want to watch something that I don't want to watch. But the other two movies I haven't seen before, and so it's fine.
Yeah, but that's I feel like that'll be the fun thing of this, is for us each to have a pick and we have to go along with it, because I don't think there's really that many animated films out there that are like, oh, terrible, oh, I really don't want to see that, you know.
You want to watch Angry Birds again? No, you don't.
If you picked it, I'd do it, because that's the fun of
that's the
fun of this idea. No, it wasn't that bad. It was watchable. It was definitely not great.
We were so bored.
We were bored, yeah. We watched Angry Birds the movie recently.
So it was barely watchable.
So
it had its moments.
It had its moments.
Very few. Could
Yeah.
probably count them on one hand.
But this is something I'd like to do, is just to talk about animated films, you know, because I'm getting into them a bit more than usual, and you know, want to see more of them from different time periods, different countries, things like that, and hopefully.
Well, you have seen some unusual ones.
What unusual ones?
The Blue People.
Oh yeah, the Fantastic Planet, the French. That's an incredible film. I'd like to show it to you at some point.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, I've seen enough.
I saw the last half, and that was kind of like.
You didn't like the look of it? No. Interesting. Well,
let's just say if I was one of those people who smoke, I would probably love it.
Right. Okay.
Because it looks like they were on something when they made that.
It's
movie.
quite a psychedelic film, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so maybe if I was really, really tired, but I'd probably have nightmares.
Alright. Well,
let's not talk about other movies. Let's talk about the one we're about to watch.
Yes. So the one we're about to watch is Connie's pick. It's been a huge success this year. I think it's like the most successful animated film of the year that's not Disney.
Really?
I don't know who made this. Like, what animation studio was behind this?
We'll see soon.
Yeah, but it is The Secret Life of Pets, which I've heard.
Lily! Are you okay?
Yeah, like, I mean, again, she cannot not be involved in the video somehow, especially when we do a marathon. She has to get involved, you know, by nearly breaking her foot. Anyway, so Secret Life of Pets, I've heard different things about it, and I guess we'll see what it's like. And
I just love anything pet related, animal related.
Animal related, yeah. I mean, we watched Snow White recently, and my favourite thing about that was all the animals and stuff. So hopefully it'll be an enjoyable one. And also, just to say, for this Trianithon thing, there's no rules about like anything to do with what kind of animated film it is. So it can be traditional hand drawn, it can be digital animation, it can be stop motion animation, it can be cut out animation. So yeah, there's no like rules as far as that goes. Anything goes, and just the 3 picks. So let's get started. Secret Life of Pets, a brand new film, and yeah.
And I bought a DS.
And Connie bought a 3DS.
New XL.
Oh, that makes it so much.
Yeah, it's the newest one.
It's the newest one. Okay.
And it's the best one so far.
Can you watch animated films on it?
I think you can.
How?
You just transfer it to the SD card. It's got a screen.
Yeah, but you're not going to, so it's not relevant to the video, really. So what you're doing?
No,
you,
but
you
there is animation in it.
You kind of dragging the video down to, you know, a topic that's unrelated, and you know, this is a battery waster right now. So actually, the camera's plugged in, so I guess.
Well,
it's not,
Lily got some time, so I wanted some time. It's a big deal.
But you wanted some like.
Focus on me.
If you want to focus on you, focus on the fact that you're clearly freezing right now. The blanket wrapped around you. I don't understand how you're that cold. It's.
You just said it was freezing.
Downstairs, yeah. Right, this is getting way off track. We're going to watch the film now, and we'll talk to you afterwards. Alright, this is the grand feast for the film. It's my breakfast, a tiny sandwich with some chicken stuff in it. Got a bowl of crisps because we transferred our usual cheat day from Saturday to Sunday.
Cheat meals.
Cheat meals.
It's not a full day of cheats.
True, it's not a full day, just... They're not meals, they're snacks. You can't call a bowl of crisps a meal.
It's keeping me full.
Might keep it full, but it's not a meal. So I've got a bowl of crisps each, and some chocolate. I haven't got my chocolate yet.
Limited amount of chocolate.
A limited amount of chocolate.
We get 11 pieces each on Saturday.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that much detail. And just a bottle of water. That is it. So let the good times roll. Alright, we are done with The Secret Life of Pets. What did you think?
Oh, can't you go first? I thought the beginning was the best part.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I was a little bit disappointed because I thought it was actually like, I thought it was going to be about what pets maybe do when you're not at home.
Yeah.
Because the trailer kind of showed like, oh, that's what they do when, when they're at home.
Yeah.
But of course, it ended up being an adventure.
Yeah.
And some characters were kind of exaggerated to me.
Yeah.
Had their funny moments, but most of it was just like, this guy again. And yeah, I thought the best part was when they were at home, really.
Yeah. To kind of paraphrase Back to the Future, maybe we're just not ready for it yet, but our kids are gonna love it. I think it's more of a kids movie. I think kids would love it. It's silly, stupid. The jokes will land more with kids. The adventure will probably entertain kids more. Stuff like that. Would you agree?
Yeah, but it had its moments. Like when there were typical cat things and typical dog things and stuff like that. It was really funny.
Good observations.
I just feel like the trailer fooled me. It tricked me. Because there was nothing about the story in it. I thought it was going to be, this is what they do.
Yeah.
And that was what I was interested in, because I find it hilarious to look at Lily when she thinks we're not looking. Right. Or when she's doing something she knows she's not allowed to do or whatever. And I was just like, oh yeah, I want to see what pets do, Maybe they've done some research and, in the trailer there's this cat, the main cat, it goes into the fridge. And that's funny. Mm. And the poodle, when it turns the music on.
The headbanging music.
Yeah, the headbanging music. That's funny.
Yeah.
And
there was funny little gags in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, even the dog walking. Like, it could have been just like typical things, I thought it was funny with the dog waiting for the owner by the door all the time. It's just like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then, no, we need an adventure, because if not, there's no story.
Yeah, I think they kind of had to do that really to keep it more interesting for the target audience, which is kids. There's a reason these films are some of the most successful films of the year, because people take their kids to see them. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like the first maybe 5-10 minutes of the film were probably the best, because I did like that kind of observational stuff of pets at home when the owners are gone. And I've read a lot of people say that this film is very much just a rehash of Toy Story, very unoriginal and all that. And at the beginning, I could almost start to see it. I was like, I guess I can see where they're going with this. But then once you get like 20 minutes into the film, no, it's just a typical, crazy day out movie, like where...
Save your friend.
Yeah, it's very typical stuff. The characters were okay. I didn't feel like any of the characters really stood out that much in terms of being a great character. They were just, typical animated movie characters, really. There wasn't really one even the main character. And some of the main characters. Wow. I liked the eagle, or the hawk, or whatever, played by Albert Brooks, who does the voice of Marlin in the Finding Nemo films, which we just saw, was it last weekend?
Yeah. Yeah,
last weekend we saw Finding Dory, by the way. That was great. That was a great animated film. This wasn't near that, and it was by the same people who did the Despicable Me films.
What are they called again?
I don't know. I just know Universal does it, so maybe it's just Universal. I don't know, but yeah, I could tell like the way that the humans looked was like humans look in the Despicable Me films and Minions and yeah. Overall, it was alright. It was better than Angry Birds, a movie. It was a bit
definitely a lot better than that.
Yeah.
Like you said, I felt like it was more of a kids movie.
Yeah,
like,
which is fine.
It was enjoyable, but the moments were few.
Yeah.
I feel, and I thought there were going to be a lot more but then again, maybe I hyped it up too much too. I was really excited about watching it. Pets movie.
Like I said,
then they're out in town.
I'd heard mixed things. I'd heard really good things and kind of things. So I didn't have that. I was kind of like tempering my expectations to begin with.
Mine were really high, unfortunately.
The main villain was played by Kevin Hart. This small little.
Of course, it was Kevin Hart.
Yeah, the small little white bunny who, you know, I liked the idea of it, of having this cute little white bunny being like actually quite, you know, mean and sadistic and kind of being the villain and stuff. It was kind of a cool subverting the typical idea of a villain. I mean, you'd think that they'd make it like a wolf or something like that or whatever, but it didn't really work for me that much. Like the funny side of his character didn't make me laugh that much. You know, so... Yeah,
there are loads of, like, moments where they want the whole crowd to just go up, ha 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 ha, and I just sat there with that smile I was talking about yesterday, like...
Yeah.
Oh.
Really? Am I supposed to be laughing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I like the idea of it, but in execution, not so much. But
I thought the rabbit was too exaggerated for me to find it funny, because it was like... Deadpool, like it was constant.
Right, yeah.
Didn't give it a break. You know, and that was...
Yeah. And I don't know what it was about that. Like, I don't know if I can put my finger on it, you know. I don't know how to make a feature film or how to make it flow or anything like that, but I was just zoning out a little bit. It just felt so typical. You know, just it's okay, they're doing this, they're going to do that, and I wasn't really like, oh, what's going to happen next? Like, oh, are they going to get to that bit? It just seemed to follow a very set formula that I've seen so many times before, that I wasn't really engaged with the story as much as I would have liked.
It's a sandwich movie.
And it felt like, yeah, it just felt like the pacing wasn't. No, it just felt off to me. What do you mean a sandwich movie? You said that before, but I've forgotten what you meant.
Oh, it's where you have a certain pattern that you follow. It's like rules.
Right.
Like you have to have the characters.
Yeah.
It has to start off nice.
Yeah.
Something happens.
Oh yeah.
And they have to go on this crazy adventure, and then you have obstacles and you have enemies and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then it either goes a good way or a bad way. But usually movies like this is a good way. Like a good ending.
And you call it a sandwich movie?
Yeah, I don't know why we call it that. We call it a sandwich list.
Who calls it a sandwich? Who?
In Norway.
In Norway?
We call it a sandwich list when it's you have a pattern that you follow. Do you have this? Check. Yes. Check.
Okay.
Check. Like any movie, any good movie, it has a story. It has to have.
Well, yeah.
Start off good, and then something bad happens, or something, an obstacle or whatever, and the hero of the movie has to go through all of this, you know.
Yeah.
And then either the hero dies or it ends up all good.
There was a bit where one of the main characters had like his backstory revealed, like who his previous owner was and stuff, and then you kind of go and like have that bit resolved, and it was okay, but it just felt like a less effective version of scenes that we've seen before in films like this, like maybe, you know, Toy Story, things like that.
If Pixar had done it, it would have been like, oh, we would have cried.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't completely void of emotion. It was kind of sweet, but it didn't seem to really go anywhere.
And predictable.
And yeah, predictable, and then and that was it. Like we didn't come back to it or anything, and so yeah, I don't know. It was an okay film. Enjoyable for what it was, but
I'll watch it again at some point probably.
But not stand out. And I guess we should say and comment on the animation. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
It's set in New York, and it was kind of weird to see this kind of hyper realized version of New York where everything's really like the water looked far too clean for New York, and like far too like bright and colourful and perfect and spotless and everything, but the fur on...
They showed the sewer.
Yeah, they did show the sewer, but some of the fur on the animals was great. It's amazing to see how far animation has come. So I mean, as far as the animation goes, it was great, you know, and the movement and everything was...
Modeling, the lighting, the texturing.
Yeah, all...
Most of the texturing, at least, it seemed a little simpler than many Pixar movies, for example, when it comes to fur and stuff.
Okay. Well, worth noting as well that Connie is studying, you know.
I'm sure we've said that many times.
I'm sure we have, but it's always worth saying, especially doing these videos about animated films. So it's not just you kind of trying to sound like you know what you're talking about. You have actually spent a lot of time, you know, kind of learning stuff like that. So That's definitely where you look at it a bit differently than me when it comes to digital animation.
Yeah, but funnily enough, in this one, I wasn't really paying that much attention. I don't know, because I wasn't in awe in the beginning, and so I was like,
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, I mean...
That's what bugs me, you know, because it has so much potential in my mind.
Mm.
And like you said, the animation is great, the voice acting is great even, but the story was just a little poor for me. It was just like any other movie I've seen, I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was a little disappointing.
So
I thought it was more original in the beginning when you actually like, what do they do?
Yeah.
You know? But they don't do shit like that.
It had promise. So that was A Secret Life of Pets. The next film we're going to watch is the pick that we decided on. So not my actual pick. 5 centimeters per second. Film from 2007. Japanese film directed by... Do you want to pronounce the name?
Makoto Shinkai?
Makoto Shinkai. Who is a Japanese anime director. And he had a film come out this year. I think actually about a month ago, that a lot of people are raving about. It's got like 100% I think on some kind of website. But this is a film he made a few years ago. A lot of people say he's the next Miyazaki, and
almost 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, true, 2007. Yeah,
a few years ago.
It's always that thing. Like I remember, like throughout the entire of the 2000s, like, even like 2009, I'd still think in the back of my head, oh, 95 was like a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to separate yourself when you. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I mean. I think people can relate to that that thing. But yeah, people say he's the next Miyazaki, which he kind of shies away from what I've read, and I do think it's kind of a bit of a thing. Whenever someone comes across who's like a new director, oh, he's the next him, he's the next that. I've seen the trailer for this film, 5 centimeters per second. It doesn't look like a Miyazaki film. I'll say that much. But maybe it has some of the kind of great storytelling. I don't know. I just heard about it a couple of days ago. It looked really good. And so we're just going to check it out, and it's only an hour long as well, which is good.
Is it really though? Is it 60 minutes?
It's like 1 hour and 2 minutes, I think. So,
okay.
Yeah. So we're going to check that one out now, and then we'll come back with thoughts
afterwards.
Drawn? It is. I don't know actually. That's interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, and maybe look it up. But the next film, on we go. Number 2.
Just gonna. Oh, watch me die. Oh, watch me die. Gonna die!
Here's my 6 pieces of chocolate. A nice big glass of milk to go with it, and I've been having some of these kind of sugar-free sweet thingies. They're okay. Not the best, but you know, not too bad.
何？桜の花の落ちるスピード、秒速5センチメートル。あかり、そういうことよく知ってるよね。
Okay, we finished 5 centimeters per second, or as it said on the screen towards the end, was it a chain of short stories about their distance or something? Is that what it said? I don't know. So
I didn't have time to read that.
Yeah, it's a 3-part film, kind of 3 short films really, mixed into this 1 hour-long film about a guy and a girl. Beginning of the film, the first part, they're kind of young teenagers, and by the end, they're adults. And I liked how it showed how in the beginning of the film it was in the 90s, where you don't have like mobile phones and stuff, and how that played into the story a little bit. And then by the end you see, you know, kind of the technology moving forward and stuff. It wasn't a huge part of the film, but I liked that little touch. The animation, what did you think?
The animation or the drawing?
True, good point. Well, okay, the way it looked...
The artwork was amazing. Like, just the first 5 shots are like...
It's a good
and
point.
I was just like...
That's a good point. Artwork, animation, they are different because...
The animation is very simple.
Yeah, it's the backgrounds.
Yes.
Like, and it's full of backgrounds.
And it's like every background is just
Incredible.
beautiful.
Incredible.
Like the
lighting.
composition and the lighting and the colors and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everything is really, really pretty, and I couldn't help but think like, oh, I wish I understood everything they were saying so I could only look at the pictures. Because I had to keep reading the subtitles.
Yeah.
Because they would also subtitle what like the...
Other people in the background were saying.
Yes, and so you had like...
A couple of confusing...
Yeah.
couple of confusing bits.
You didn't have enough time to read, and then the next shot was there, and you didn't have time to look at the picture. So I kind of want to see it again, and just look at the pictures in a way. It was clearly digitally animated and put together, which I like because I just recently learned how to, and they did it in a simple way, but it just fits. Like, there are very few shots that were longer than like 5 seconds or something. It was very dung, 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 like you had enough time to...
Yeah, I looked at the trailer on YouTube, and one of the common comments, like, everyone keep pulling the same line. They kept saying 5 wallpapers per second.
Yeah.
Because you literally could just scan through the film, just click, and you'd find something that'd be a gorgeous wallpaper on your laptop or computer.
Really a lot of pretty drawings.
Yeah, the story, bit of discombobulation at the start for me. I mean, I kind of got it from the very beginning, but the first few minutes it was very confusing, lots of jumping back and forth in time, but not like big time jumps, just small ones.
One of the jumps seemed like it was an error as well.
Yeah.
The train station, it was one image and then
a white flash and
a flicker to something, and then right back to where we were, and so I was like, what?
And that's another thing I maybe didn't like or didn't love, was how quick and fast paced it was, and how like you'd have a scene and then it would fade out to black, and then it would white fade in, and then something else would happen, and I don't know if it was the point, but the relationship between the guy and the girl is kind of a love story in a way. Well, it is. You don't really get to see much of them together, you know, and so I didn't feel like I got a sense for what they were like together. Kind of, I suppose we did a little bit, but I think that's probably the point. Really, is it kind of that young love, and kind of the, you know, from a distance almost. I don't know, like they want to say stuff to each other, but they haven't got it out yet, and that plays into the rest of the film. So you're quite removed from it, I felt like, but at the same time, you did kind of, I guess, root for them a little bit. What do you think about the story in that sense?
I loved the first part. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, I think it's the strongest part, is the first.
When it was over, I was just thinking, wait, what? Is that the whole movie? Because it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was probably 20 minutes, but it felt so short. And I liked how, because it was really slow, but I liked that. Because there was so much to look at, and I really enjoyed the artwork of it all. The second part confused me so much the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this was a completely new story about 2 new people until I heard his first name when he was introduced to the class.
Yeah, I kind of read the synopsis, so I did know that it was the same characters through all 3 short parts of the film.
No, who was the girl?
The girl
in
was
the second part.
That's just another girl.
You're just another girl. But the whole time I was just thinking, wait, is
I
another
got it.
girl?
I got it though. I got what it meant.
But then it was so space related that I was unsure, like, wait, what? Was he thinking about her? Or was he thinking about just going away? And so that was confusing to me, because he might as well just have been a different person, because there was no connection to the first story whatsoever for me. It was beautiful to look at, but it was confusing to me because it was all about this new girl who I had no relation to. But then the third one was okay until the damn song started.
Yeah.
And that just, like, I was, in the beginning of the movie, I was thinking, oh, I can't wait to do the review. I'm just going to say, oh, it was freaking beautiful. It was perfect. But no. The last 5 minutes was this very cheesy, like, beginning of 2000 Japanese song, and then the pictures were like literally like a second each, and I wanted to look at it, but I had to read the subtitles for the song as well because it had to do with the story, and then the story got confusing to me because what really did happen, and
I understood what happened or what went on, but I do agree the song was a bit too sickly sweet in terms of the lyrics. I felt like it was hitting it on the nose a bit too much.
It was like J-drama.
Yeah, and it was a bit too much, I think. I don't know, because it was a film that was about this kind of tender love that was, that had its subtlety to it, and then the ending just punched right through the subtlety. And it was, and it basically
like a jolly song too.
And it ended with like a music video, basically.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the film. So
it felt like a fan-made music video.
It did. It did. It really did.
I felt like I just put on YouTube to see like a little, put together all the great shots in this, but only leave a second for you to look.
Yeah, I don't know.
And there were other shots that weren't in the film earlier as well, and that made me, I didn't have time to look at it. I wanted to pause to look at it, and the song, I didn't like the song.
No.
I didn't think it was a good song. It was very repetitive. It ruined the ending for me.
Yeah.
Plus, I found the ending kind of confusing a little bit.
Well, we'll talk about that off camera because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it didn't confuse me really. I got the point of it, but yeah, the song at the end was a bit too much. It was kind of a disappointment really, because yeah, overall I really liked it. I'm intrigued to see more of the guy's stuff.
Definitely. But I just hope that it makes more sense.
Yeah, and with it being an hour long, maybe I don't know, it felt like a bit of a rush maybe, even though there are slow parts to it, like you said.
The first part was the best.
Yeah.
The whole thing should have been like that.
Yeah.
But the second, it was like 3 different directors to me, but the same artist.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The 2 last parts, especially the last one, it felt like, what? The same guy who made the amazing first part did this ending?
Yeah, I
Why would he... Who would do such a thing? What's wrong with him? It's like, oh, I just made an amazing movie, now I'm just gonna, shit on it.
It's so right what you said. It was like a fan-made, like...
Yeah. Look it up on YouTube. You'll find shit like that everywhere.
Yeah.
I made shit like that before. I put on a song and I put together some anime and stuff, and that was it. Timed it with the music. Click, 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 click. Beautiful shot. Click, click. No, I'm sorry. It's just the very beautiful. Loved the first story.
Yeah. The
rest was okay, and then the ending was terrible. Sorry, it was terrible. I was just sat there like, please let there be something to finish this off.
Yeah.
And then.
And I'm not a huge fan of the kind of anime style of face. Like, I watch a lot of Studio Ghibli films, and they're not quite like that. Like the really exaggerated eyes,
you can expect
and
the same.
And the nose that is just like a sharp point,
Oh yeah, that was something I noticed. When you saw them in the profile,
yeah.
They all looked the same.
Yeah, like even like
in part 2 when they were right next to each other and they were profile and they were looking at
like
that
a boy and a girl, and
which one is she?
Yeah.
And also I can really, when we saw the first part. And she said she cut her hair short. And then I was like, wait, are we looking at him or her? And then he opened his mouth and I was like, oh, it is him. Wait, is this her now? No, is that
I definitely wasn't as confused as you, I'll say that much. But
they looked the same.
It didn't hold your hand with a lot of those details, but yeah, so that was that. It was really good.
Artwork was amazing.
Yeah, that artwork was fantastic.
The song after the bad song was really good.
Yeah, the credit song was really nice, and the music in general was good. But
yeah, except for
the song at the end. Yeah, it was just very disappointing. But it was what it was. I think I enjoyed it more than you, but I agree with all of your...
I loved the first part.
Yeah,
and I was all into the artwork.
Yeah, and the story.
the first story.
Yeah.
Second story was okay.
Yeah.
The third was...
The
Damn,
third
I'm
was
so disappointed. I wanted the whole thing to be great.
the third was interesting. The third part, like I felt like it was going somewhere,
And then it did.
and then it didn't. It just gave us the music video to end it. And I mean, there was an ending scene kind of, and I liked what it was for what it was. But you know, overall, just I would have preferred three more minutes of scenes than a music video.
I felt like
the
I'd
end.
climbed a super tall mountain.
All right, we're
And I was
beleaguering the
like,
point now. I think.
Oh, the view's gonna be amazing, but there's fog everywhere. That's what the ending was like to me. It was super anti-climax.
It's like
It was so great.
it's like listening to an album of Joe Hisaishi's music from Studio Ghibli,
And ending with Justin Bieber.
and ending with the theme from Hong Kong '97.
No,
The video game.
don't start.
我爱北京天安门，天安门上太阳山。我爱北京天安门，天安门上太阳山。
If you sing that,
Okay, I'm not going to.
I'm not watching the last movie with you.
Okay, right. So there we go. That was the second film. Kind of two quasi disappointments. You know, I think we enjoyed both films, but we wanted more of both of them. I think so. Hopefully, the next one
It had...
will deliver. I know. Yeah. I know. I understand. We've been through it. Yeah. The artwork was amazing. Yeah, and we've got everything. We've got all the points covered.
70% was amazing.
Yes, exactly. And I think we should probably check out some of his other films, and hopefully the story matches.
Can't wait to see the last one he's made.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but like I said, it just came out recently. So, on with the third film, which we'll be watching a little bit later on in the day. We're going to take a break now, and then we'll come back and watch the...
You're going to take a break.
Why?
Well, I have to work out.
Well, Connie's going to work out, but yeah, we're taking a break from watching the films. That's what I'm saying. And then we'll finish with my pick. So, stay tuned for that.
This was his pick too.
I suggested it, you agreed. It was the joint pick.
I agreed to your second pick as well. You can
Alright.
say what you want, but that's just the way it is.
Alright, we're getting ready now to watch the third and final film of the Trianithon. It is 7:15, so it's still fairly early. Connie just cooked dinner, so we're about to have dinner with the film, which is my pick, Animal Farm, based off the George Orwell book. This is a British, I think it's the first full-length released in cinemas British animated film, and it's supposed to be some sort of allegory and political satire as well. Apparently this has got something to do with like Russian politics, and I mean it's not what the film's going to be about, but it's kind of based on that. You know, you're getting worried now.
Don't tell me too much about it now.
And apparently a lot of it was funded by the CIA, so there was like political interest in the film as well, but
Let's just watch the movie before you
ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna check this out.
At least
Hopefully,
my hopes are like way down in the basement right now. So
yeah.
see what's
Let's hope that it doesn't turn out to be a trilogy of disappointments. I haven't seen it, so let's give it a go. Alright, it is 8 o'clock, pretty much on the dot, and we are done with Animal Farm. It was an interesting film. And I enjoyed it very much. It is a very bleak film, holy shit. It says on the back, Universal, suitable for all, which basically means kids from ages 1 and up can watch it.
I don't think they should.
And it's been certified by the BBFC as that. Basically, the story revolves around these animals who live on a farm. The owner of the farm is horrible, so they decide to overthrow him after they're kind of the old major, who's called this big pig, tells them they need to revolt against the farm owner, and then he dies. So the rest of the animals, in his memory, kind of they revolt and they kind of take control of the farm, and that's what the film is about: is the animals kind of doing the farm stuff themselves, you know, harvesting the crops and getting the milk and the eggs and all that kind of stuff, and creating a sustainable society for themselves. And then kind of the question comes up, well, not even the question, someone just kind of takes over one of the pigs called Snowball. But there's another pig called Napoleon who has his design set on taking over the farm as well. And so you have this kind of conflict of interest, and you know, who decides the rules. They paint rules on the side of the barn and stuff like that. All animals are equal, and you know, so I can...
No animal shall kill another animal.
Yeah. And I really like just the idea of it, because it shows you such a complete story of a society starting from the ground up, and how that would work. And it makes me think to, you know, like back hundreds of years, thousands of years, like surely there must have been societies that have been started around the world where it was like, okay, we're all equal, you know, everyone gets a fair share, you know, no one's going to kill each other, and the intentions start out pure, and then
someone's a bastard.
Yeah, someone's a bastard, or greed, I think, is the key thing. Greed and power and all that kind of stuff plays into it, and so I can see very much why it's an allegory for all that kind of stuff. And again, apparently it was something to do with something that happened, I don't know, in Russia or something. I don't know the politics of it. I'm not going to look into it. I'm not too good with politics, but as far as I'm aware, well, I'm not even going to go into the ending of it, actually. We'll do it at the end. But the story was interesting, but it is very bleak, and it can be quite depressing at times when you see some of the animals die.
Get killed.
True, get killed, yeah.
Slaughtered by
yeah,
their own.
Yeah, and it's quite a grim film, so I'd give it a PG if I was the British Board of Film Classification.
Yeah.
Definitely a parental guidance on that one. I mean, it's not shocking or anything, but it's not, you know...
I thought it was a little shocking.
Well, yeah, I mean...
I even looked away once, because I just thought, like...
Yeah, don't say what it is. But it's funny, because this is a very interesting way to bookend this thing we're doing. We started off with a film that's all about animals, and it was like such a fluffy, kind of fuzzy,
yeah, I
warm...
prefer that one.
Yeah, whereas this one is complete opposite, and there's some funny bits in this, but not ha-ha funny. Just kind of, nice little smile funny, you know. It wasn't like bad humour, it was just like, it made me kind of smile a little bit, some little funny bits with some of the animals, but there was nothing too overly funny.
In the beginning of the movie.
Well, yeah, I suppose, yes, but towards
no more fun during
yeah,
the
towards the end, the second half, it does get very, because again, you see this tyrannical dictator kind of take over, and everything changes, and I think it's a brilliant film. I really did. Not one I'd want to watch again and again and again, but it certainly has its place. And I liked the story. I liked how it showed, you know, the pitfalls of, you know, having one person rule. I mean, I loved the bit where there's basically, I won't say what happens, but there's a big fight, like almost like their equivalent of a war. You know, people are injured. You know, they have a big battle and things like that, and it's really, you know, life and death, and you know they kind of win, but they've lost some people, and the Napoleon pig dictator, he was hiding the whole time up in his little room, looking out of the window, not doing anything, being very cowardly. And as soon as they'd won, he sticks his head out the window and he proudly pins a badge of honor on himself. You know, like that. It just is really, or loads of little beats like that. You know, all of the animals, the hens, the cows. You know, the sheep and everything, they're getting very small portions of food, whereas all the pigs are getting all this loads of stuff, and you can very much draw parallels with them. And it was one of the main inspirations to one of my favorite albums by Pink Floyd, Animals, which is an album that's all about kind of comparing animals and their kind of traits to humans and their place in society and stuff like that. But yeah, Animal Farm. This is probably my favourite part of the film, was this shot right here of the animals kind of doing their battle song as they burnt the belongings of the farmer, and you see their silhouette against the flames and stuff. The animation was really good. It very much reminded us, I think, of Disney films.
The drawings were very similar.
Yeah.
With the animals.
And I believe that it was produced and directed by a husband and wife team. And they did many films together, animated stuff. But yeah, as I said, the CIA apparently funded some of this, and there was kind of some political reasons for changing the ending somewhat from the original novel. But what were your thoughts? Sorry, I've talked for far too long.
I found it provoking.
Provoking because of the animals that were getting killed in the film, or
Yes, that, and obviously the constant unfairness of the movie.
yeah, true. That is a very provoking thing.
I see the political standpoint and stuff in the movie. And it's well made. I just really didn't like it at all. I'm so glad it's over.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. Not just because it was provoking, but like even when things weren't that bad in the beginning,
Yeah.
I was pretty bored.
Okay.
Like some of the things that they really dragged out, like the people from town marching in.
Okay.
Like they cut between the scenes like 5 or 6 times,
Yeah.
but you got the point, you know, like
Okay.
a lot of things that could have been cut out. And I don't like political movies like that, I guess.
I don't think it is a political movie.
Just because it's animals, it's still the same message.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't like being provoked. I don't know. But I don't want to watch it again.
It's fair enough.
I prefer
The Secret Life of Pets.
yeah. Way.
Interesting. Well, I've got nothing. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I think I disagree. Well, yeah, I do disagree.
Yeah, you just said you liked it.
Yeah, but even the point you made about it being dragged out, I thought it was paced really well. I thought it moved very fast, and not too fast, but it moved at the right pace for me, where different things were always happening, and I didn't feel like some of the things were drawn out. So I do think it was a great film, but I understand
The battle song in the beginning too, I found dragged out.
I didn't like the battle song, but I didn't feel like it was dragged out that much either. So I don't know. You kind of just agree to disagree, I guess. So so there we go. That's it. We've done the first Trianithon. Did you enjoy doing it?
2 first, yeah.
The 2 first ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one, fairly okay, enjoyable film, nothing too special. Second one, almost quite a special film that was maybe a bit tarnished by the ending. And this one, a very mixed, split opinion kind of film. One that I'm glad that I've seen, but yeah, probably not one that I would want to watch again and again, like, say a Studio Ghibli film or a Disney film or a Pixar film.
Or ever again.
Or ever again in Connie's. And I totally get that, I understand that, so that's
I
fine.
would have been quite happy not watching it.
But now you can say you have watched it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed, or we hope you enjoyed, and I'd like to do this again. Would you be interested in it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, and there's lots of different ways we can go about it, and I don't know, maybe, because I feel like the first film was a bit of a disappointment for you, kind of what I expected. The second film was a bit of a disappointment to both of us.
Just the ending though.
Okay, yeah, true. And then the third one was very disappointing for you as well. So
Yeah.
maybe next time we can kind of, make sure that we watch a film we know that we like, so that it's not a complete, trilogy of disappointments. But still, I'm glad I saw the films. Secret Life of Pets is a big film that a lot of people have been talking about. We've now seen a new film from this Japanese anime director who I'd like to see more from. And then this classic British animation, which I've always heard about, by the way. Growing up as a kid, I'd see it on TV and stuff, but never fully seen it. And we're going to leave the video there, so you can turn it off now. But I just want to talk about spoilers for 2 of them. So if you haven't seen any of the films, you can go now. But the second one that we watched, 5 centimeters per second, just wanted to get your opinion on it, because I was reading some stuff when we took the break online. The ending, where the guy in the film is kind of, he's because we were talking about after we turned the camera off as well. In the third part of 5 centimeters per second, he's grown up, he's with someone, she says that she loves him, but she can't get any closer to him, so they kind of split up, apparently. And the girl in the film is married, or going to get married, she's engaged. So they're completely split now, they've got no contact with each other, and they walk across, both of them walk across the train tracks where they walked when they were kids. They don't look at each other. and then they reach the other side, and he turns around and a train goes past. Now people think that he's just imagining that she just walked past him. Some people think that she was there, but as the trains are going, you know, are crossing paths, he's standing there waiting to see her. She stops, but she decides to keep on moving because she's already moved on with her life, whereas he is still holding on to it. And when the train leaves, and he realizes she's not there, he turns around, he smiles, and moves on with his life, and then goes forward. Which isn't something I actually picked up from it because I was so distracted by the song, which was kind of like, oh, this is a bit disappointing.
I'm so glad that song is out of my head now.
Yeah, so I rewatched the ending, and I thought it was, you know, I still didn't like the song, but I really liked that ending where it kind of showed that they kind of had drifted apart, and it was, you know, and even and something someone else brought up was that the trains play a big part in it. In like we have the beginning where he's trying to get to her on the train, and the train.
It wasn't just one train passing either.
Yeah, it was two.
When the first one.
Yeah.
Kind of finished passing.
Another
second one came just to drag it out even longer. But
in the first part of the film, when he's trying to go and visit her on the train keeps getting delayed, gets delayed, and then it's there for like 2 hours. It's almost as if the train is trying to stop them from becoming something. But when he finally gets there, she's still waiting for him because maybe she loved him. And then at the end, you have the trains. I guess that's kind of cool. I like that kind of symbolism of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching.
She wasn't waiting then.
She wasn't waiting then. No, she had moved on, and yeah, I think I'm looking forward to watching it again. Not anytime soon, but you know, at some point in the future.
I want to enjoy the artwork even more and not focus too much on the subtitles.
Yeah.
Like maybe even watch an English version just so that I can look at it.
Yeah.
Of course, I prefer Japanese when it's Japanese.
Yeah, you always.
But I just have to read the subtitles, and so I miss out.
Yeah. And then finally, Animal Farm. So again, you got your spoiler warning. The pig, the dictator Napoleon, he's there, and he's all, you know. I love that bit at the end where the donkey Benjamin is looking in, and he sees Napoleon, and he's going, "Oh yes, yes, we're going to do this," and his face slowly morphs into the human. I thought that was a brilliant moment, and apparently the novel ends like that, where you know the other animals are like, well, we can't even decide now. We can't even see the difference between pigs and humans. And that's it, that's the end, very bleak. Whereas in the end of the film, all the animals come together and they barge through and probably kill Napoleon and kind of maybe take back the farm, and then it ends right there. Still a bleak ending, but it gives you perhaps a little bit of hope, I don't know. So I don't know how I feel about that, you know, both the original novel ending or the film ending. Do you have any thoughts on that, really? If it would have been better if they just left it really bleak because the whole film was bleak, or did you like that they barged in and killed the big bad guy at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I was so provoked by them, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
You just don't have anything.
Kill the bastards. I don't know.
Kill the bastards. And on that note, thank you for watching.
They kill innocent people, and so you know, get rid of them.
Well,
that's just the way life is now.
Oh, that raises a very interesting philosophical question, though, isn't it? Should you kill because someone else kills? You know,
yeah,
should you
they're just not going to stop killing.
Yeah,
are
but
they?
I mean, you know,
we could throw them in jail, but there are other people that can actually change. So you can put in jail,
yeah.
But those people are not going to change.
So Connie says, kill. Kill the bastards.
Hey, spoiler, they killed the fucking cats. Make them suffer.
They did kill the cat. That was horrible. Like, ugh. Yeah.
They killed the dogs too.
Ah, see again. But they were innocent little pups at the beginning.
True, they should be thrown in jail, and because they were just mind fucked.
Yeah, because they're
True, but the pigs can die.
Their mum got killed in the beginning, and so they had nothing, and they were brought up by this.
Napoleon should die.
Yeah.
Because he changed the pigs as well, because they were happy when...
Kill all the leaders!
Kill all the leaders! And let the puppies live, but throw them in jail and see if they want to change. If they don't want to change, then kill them too.
Wow.
Or at least make them suffer so that they want to die.
Well, just chuck them in a bag and, you know, lob it into the river, you know.
No, I mean, I'm talking about humans.
Oh, well, same thing.
Don't kill the dogs.
Don't kill the dogs, no. Don't kill any animals. Don't, whatever you do.
Just the pigs.
Just the pigs and the leaders.
The leaders. Just kill Napoleon.
Alright, just take...
Why was he called Napoleon?
I don't know.
Did Napoleon do bad stuff?
I really don't know. I really don't know. But
he had an army.
Yeah, but this again, I know nothing. You know, I may as well be Jon Snow. So this, you know, when it comes to stuff like that. So yeah, you've seen Game of Thrones. Anyway, right. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully, we'll get to do Chapter 2 someday, and we'll see you. Oh, yes, you got the reference.
Jon Snow. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's so weird.
We'll leave it at that impression. Thank you for watching, and
Snow.
see you. Hopefully, in the next one.
Kill the leaders.